What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Juju Green, aka Straw Hat Goofy, your movie guy, here with the one and only Halle Berry, star of the new Never Let Go film, the psychological horror film Lionsgate. How are we doing, Halle?
We're amazing,
right?
Especially now that you're here.
Oh my God! See, don't tell me that you say that to everyone. In this shirt, listen, it was a moment. Like when my grandmother always tells me, like when you do these interviews, you gotta like kind of come correct. You gotta like fix your stuff up. I put more focus on my beard, admittedly.
I see that. That looks good too.
Thank you.
I didn't put focus on my beard.
It's okay. I can give you some tips, and then we can kind of like get that thing going. Your red carpet looks are going to be like insane, right? And then you could just kind of give me credit or something.
I will.
Just tag me on Instagram.
I'll be able. Thank you, Juju.
You're very welcome. So I saw the movie last night, and like your performance, the two young actors' performance, like they're just so enthralling and so amazing, and I want to get into that. But first, what I like to do on this podcast is like I like to get to know my guests just based off of the movies that they're watching, right? You know how like people have like their favorite things and you kind of tell a lot about them, those type of things. Yeah.
I don't know if my choices are going to really tell you about me because I watch sometimes based on what my 10-year-old and my 16-year-old want to watch.
Okay.
So you might learn more about them than me.
Okay. Well, I would like to do that because I'm a parent as well. So it's the,
Are you
Yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah. I have a 7-year-old daughter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Juju.
Juju.
Who knew?
That's me. Her name is Evergreen. So try to get creative with it. Look, I had some people in the back like, oh, yeah, see, that's what I like. I only did it for the clout.
My friend's daughter's name is Golden Flowers.
Oh my gosh. See?
Yeah, so see?
Playdate.
Telling stories with the names.
Listen, I'm just saying playdate. If you want to get it going, get it cracking. So what I want to do is and I'm going to tell you some of my favorite films that made me who I am, and then you can kind of tell me yours. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Okay, so some of my favorite films, I only have 4 movies that I consider perfect, right?
That are perfect.
Flawless, right? I have.
Is there a perfect movie?
It's subjectively no, right?
Okay.
But like that's what makes this.
Checking.
That's what makes this so personal, right? Like it's what you think is perfect, and nobody can take that away from you, right?
Okay.
So my films are The Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Fantastic, right?
Yes.
E.T.
Okay.
Takes me through the entire emotional spectrum.
Yes.
Then you have Her, directed by Spike Jonze.
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix, Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, you've got good ones.
Oh, thank you. And then my 4th, it's an anime called Your Name. This film is so impactful to me that it actually inspired me. Literally 2 days after watching it, I went to go buy a piano so I can learn to play the score from that film.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
It's a body swap comedy. It has romance. It has sci-fi, fantasy. It's like the perfect mix of so many genres. I guarantee you, if you love it, I've never shown anyone this film and they didn't like it. So this is me wrecking you right now. Like if you can find Your Name, please watch it. Get back to me and then tell me how you feel. All right?
Okay.
All right.
I will.
So those are my 4 perfect movies. I also throw in things like Spider-Man 2, like Sam Raimi did his thing there, things like that. And X-Men as well, like surprisingly enough. Yeah.
X-Men made
X-Men too.
Right
Oh yeah.
on.
It was one of the first movies that I bonded with my uncle. He kind of like threw me into the deep end in the superhero lore, and like, lo and behold, you're there. It's one of my first movies that I actually saw you in and kind of like absorbed that, oh my God, that's Halle Berry, that's Storm. So that was it was like a big impact on my life, but that 1-2 punch between those 2 movies. So yeah, those are like some of my movies. And, I just feel like these films, Spider-Man taught me how to like kind of choose what you want versus what you need to do. And I kind of carry that with me to this very day. Shawshank Redemption, always hold on to hope no matter what. And I can just go down the list. But what are some movies to you as like a person, an actress that you saw for the first time and you were just kind of like blown away? Your brain chemistry just changed forever.
Wow, that's a tall order. Brain chemistry changed forever. Let's see. Well, when I was little, I think my brain was rearranged when I saw The Exorcist.
Okay.
Like that had like rearranged me. Like sleeping wasn't the same. Probably all of my childhood affected the way I thought about the supernatural, the way I thought about spirituality, the way I thought about karma, like all the things got my mind going with that movie. And I realized at that age that I loved to be scared.
Yeah.
I loved that I was a horror fan. I'm a fan of the horror movie. And then I would say I saw a movie when I was way too young to see it at a drive-in with my mother called Billy Jack.
Okay.
It was very violent. Have you seen that movie?
I've never seen Billy Jack.
It was very kind of violent for like a little
How old were you
kid.
when you saw this?
I couldn't have been more than like 8. I should not have been here with my mother, but I was with my mother at the drive-in.
Honestly, she knew what you liked. Like, was this before or after The Exorcist?
It was after The Exorcist.
Oh, so she knew.
Yes.
She saw how much that impacted you and said.
Yeah, I think she knew. But it was violent. It wasn't scary and like in a horror way. It was violent. And there was something thrilling about the fact that I was watching a grown-up movie that I knew I shouldn't watch. It was like some love in it and like stuff like that.
Yeah, that was me with The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it was like, ooh, and it was kind of titillating because I knew I was seeing something and she kept telling me, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. But I was like,
yeah.
So that one. Then I love The Graduate.
The Graduate.
That's one of my
favorite.
favorites. Now that's a perfect movie.
Okay, there
the
you
other
go.
two impacted me, but to me that was the first time I think I saw a perfect movie.
Absolutely, I can see that.
Right,
I can see that.
Dustin Hoffman and Bancroft, like they were perfection.
Yeah.
Right. And then I saw a movie called Bringing Up Baby.
Okay.
Have you seen that? That's about two characters. It's an older movie bringing up a tiger in an apartment.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm on this. Tell me more, please.
Bringing Up Baby. You have to check this out. And it made me, it was comedy. It was my foray into comedy and into using my imagination. And I love animals. And it made me go to tell my mom, like, that's when I remember wanting a chimpanzee because I saw Bringing Up Baby and I thought, wouldn't it be great to like grow with a monkey? Oh. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? And I could bring it up like baby, but I would call it Boo Boo. So it'd be Bringing Up Boo Boo.
Wait, so you would like a monkey called Boo Boo?
I would have a monkey called Boo Boo, and I wanted to bring up Boo Boo. And so that impacted me because it had me on this path for a very long time about owning a monkey. Let's see, then I would say,
are you like closer
Steel
to owning
Magnolias.
a monkey now? Are you like closer to owning that monkey?
I would absolutely not own a monkey. I think that could be the cruelest thing we could do is take a monkey and put it in a cage and put it in your house. Like I would never do that today. But you're talking about like my child brain.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
That
I can see
seemed
that.
cool.
Jordan Peele firmly told us nope with that one, if you
Yes.
see what I'm saying.
Well, his movie is going to be one of my other perfect movies.
God.
Get Out was a perfect movie for me.
We love that.
We do love that, right?
Listen, we love that movie. That movie is one of those change brain chemistry type things.
Yes.
I'm only 32 years old, so I feel like I'm still pretty young. And I feel like whenever I watch movies, like we see so many, especially as fans like you and me, that you see so many that it's hard to like pick out the ones that are truly like this changes the culture.
Yeah, that changed the culture.
Changed the culture of filmmaking, of horror.
Yes.
And the fact that we were able to kind of witness that and
Yes.
that it came from somebody that we didn't expect, Jordan
Yes,
Peele, who was
Jordan Peele.
in comedy. Like proving that comedy and horror can kind of like go hand in hand together.
Yes.
I kind of, you gonna make me like add a fifth movie to my list
Add
of
that
perfect
to your
movies.
list. Because for me, I can never not understand the sunken place. I use that term so many times.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh no, you're taking me to
in
the sunken
culture of language.
place.
It's in the culture of
I'm in the
language now.
sunken
Yeah.
place. We change culture. You can't change culture with that.
That is insane. Like, but pre-2016, we weren't even talking about sunken
We
place.
didn't know
Now
what
it's
sunken place was. Now you say sunken place and people instantly know
I love this.
The place you're talking about.
See, I love this. See,
Right.
thank you for telling me these things
Yes.
because, like, again, I feel like I know you a lot more. Like, I see your movies, I see your interviews, and there's always kind of like a wall there of like, oh, that's Halle. But now I feel like I've watched these movies with you, and now when I go and see these movies, I could be like, I can see why.
But I have two
you're
more
into it.
because I'm not done.
Go. Ooh, let's get it.
Steel Magnolias and Kramer versus Kramer.
Ooh.
Those are perfect movies.
Okay. See, Steel Magnolias, like, it made me cry.
And Out of
I couldn't see it
Africa.
again. I couldn't
Like,
see it again.
You can. I know, but see, sometimes
Me right here.
I just want to cry and I put them on. Like I put on The Notebook when I really
Yeah.
want to cry to get my good cry on. I put on The Notebook.
That's a
also.
good one. I'm trying to think of a cry movie when I want to get my cry on.
Like Water for Chocolate is another one of my favorites.
That's a good
Requiem
one.
for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream.
Darren Aronofsky, another one of my favorites.
The best drug PSA to ever
Oh,
exist.
yes.
They showed me in my class that 7th grade. When I was in 7th grade.
In 7th grade.
Never touched a drug.
Yeah. It'll scare you straight.
Oh, it got
right?
me.
Yes.
It got me. Marlon Wayans,
Yep.
just like
Yes.
his segment is just so like powerful and just.
That made me know too. I will never. That's not going to be my story.
No, never. And what was the one right after Steel Magnolias, Requiem for a Dream? There was one in between there that you said.
The Notebook?
Yeah,
The
we said
Notebook?
when you want a good cry.
When I want a good cry.
Yeah, see, Twister 3 is mine.
I said Kramer versus Kramer.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Yes, with Meryl Streep.
Yeah, see,
Dustin
I haven't
Hoffman
seen Kramer
again.
versus Kramer yet.
Oh, you're gonna cry.
Am I gonna cry?
Yeah, it's about a family in custody, and when I became a mother, that became a story that touched me.
Okay.
What it must feel like to be a mother, and now that I have two children, and I'm not with their father, so I share custody, and it was a precursor for what was coming in my life, and I understand the complexity of that, and it's heartbreaking, especially for children.
Okay, so I love that you brought in you being a mother, because segue, let's talk about Never Let Go, which is I want to say you've done motherhood before, but I feel like there was like a 1-2 punch that you did with Kidnap and now with Never Let Go, where you're the utmost protective mother in this movie. And I know your director, Alexander Aja, was talking about how this is a movie about the protective prison, right? Can you speak a little bit to like playing a mother that obviously has a leash on these children because she's afraid of like them experiencing the world, but as like a real mother, you kind of want your kids to experience the world. You don't want to be a hovering mom, right? So like talk to me a little bit about that balance between like being a real mother in real life and then your character in this film.
Well, I'm fiercely protective of my children in real life. You know, I am the quintessential mama bear.
Yeah.
Right. And
I picked that up.
Yeah.
I picked that up.
And I also know that, you know, I'm not my kid's best friend. I'm their mother. And sometimes they, you know, they're not always happy with me when my mama bear comes out. They see it differently, but my job is to protect them, right? And nurture them and teach them. It's not always to like be their best buddy. And so I feel like how that parlayed into this film, you know, this was a different kind of mother for me. But what is true about it is a mother's love and protection changes based on the situation that they're in.
Right.
So this mother is probably the darkest version of a mother that I've ever played, but when you're done with the movie, you will know that the love was deep and pure. And that phrase, how far would you go for your children? Would you do absolutely anything for them? And I think this movie is the epitome of doing anything to protect your children, like anything.
Yes, and like, but people like want to stretch that, and you would think that people don't mean it, but we parents, like, it's like,
I mean it.
Yeah, I mean it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was put in that same situation, I'm putting the ropes on. I'm saying like, don't do this. Like, it's a strict set of rules, and I
don't care what you think about it.
Exactly,
because my job is to keep you safe, and if you have a problem with that, that's a you problem. Because my job is to take care of you, right, and make sure you wake up in the morning, and so that's what this mama in this movie is. She does what she has to do. And it's fear-based. She's afraid. She doesn't want anything to happen to them, you know? And this character, this mama, we don't know, is she schizophrenic? And that she's suffering from mental illness? Or is this evil that's sequestering them in the house, is it really real? And she's protecting them from them? Or is she torturing them because of her mental illness? Like, we really don't know. And that was my job as an actor, to sort of walk that line.
To make people not really understand.
Until you know.
Exactly.
You won't know until you know.
Until you know. See, what I liked about that element is that, you know, when it comes to our kids are smarter than we realize, right? And, you know, they're super smart. They're like a sponge. And the thing that got me with this film is, again, as an audience, we don't know if the mother is 100% right in this particular way. And as children, like, we question our parents all the time, right? And then I love how, and I don't want to spoil anything for this here, but there's a moment in the film where the kids kind of like, they're forced to make decisions on their own, and the mother is not in these particular situations. And it's terrifying because, you know, as a parent, you try to do what you can while you're there. And then when the kids are alone, that's when the real kind of test comes.
And you hope that you've been able to instill in them what they need to survive, you know, or what they need to get through the situation, that they'll remember your words, even though you were annoying and they didn't really want to hear you. You hope that when the time comes, they'll remember what you taught them.
Right. And then you look back on, at like how you said, like, you know, you look like at the end of the movie, you look back and say, oh, the mother was right or the mother was wrong. And it's only till like after everything goes down, you're just kind of like, I kind of love my mother for what she did. In the moment, I was questioning. In the moment, I didn't trust. Wanted to kill her, and that's what comes with being a parent, right? It's
Have you ever said to your mother, "I hate you"?
I don't think I've ever said that. It was my grandmother, and like she would never let those words come out. To be honest, like shit, I probably wouldn't even have a mouth if if that happened. But you know, there were times where I would just kind of like get the stick, get a knapsack, and then just kind of like, oh, I'm running away. Like, you know, you'll never see me again because of this thing. But I look back on it now and say, wow, you only have my best interests at heart. You know, and I absolutely love that. Really quickly before we get out of here, I want to talk about the two actors that you're working against. These kids are phenomenal. And I love how they're twins, but they play like two different child archetypes, the obedient one and the one who questions, and how they play that off of each other, how you play that off of them. Tell me about working with them, and like, what was the guidance like? Or did they already kind of have this instinct of knowing what to do?
Well, first of all, they were amazing. Casting them was the biggest challenge of the movie, because so much of the movie hinges on who these boys are. And if we believe them, right? If they can be natural in this situation, if we can believe they've never left this house and this is where they've grown. And they are the two dueling sides of mama.
Right.
Right. She had a questioning part of her with her mother, and then she had a defiant part of who she was. And the boys are the dueling sides of her.
Yeah.
And what was great about when we cast them, they're naturally very different.
Yeah.
Right. They somehow seemed like brothers, but they're also very different. But they worked really hard on their dialect. They worked hard to understand the story. Portraying fear is not always an easy thing to do because especially with child performers, you can go over the top with the fear and it can become silly real quick.
It felt very natural and organic the way they played it. Yeah.
In the pocket. They are phenomenal actors, young performers.
I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that. Shout out to them, man.
Yes.
They're going to be big stars.
They are.
When
they're going places.
All right. Now, I hinted at you before we started this interview that we've met once before. And I know you meet a lot of people. It's fine. Like, it happens to me too, right? So, I met you last year. And I'm just kind of like, vaguely, But I'm going to remind you right now. And I told you this was like a big moment for me and my audience. We met at CinemaCon talking about this very movie. And it was on the carpet. And you said something to me that made me very happy. You complimented my beard. And I told everyone.
I remember now.
Yes.
It just came back to me.
Just in case you don't, I have the video right here.
It just came back to me.
I didn't realize how giddy I was when you said that. Like, I didn't know. I was like, Halle Berry said she likes my beard. And I walked out of there maybe like 10 feet taller. And it said, nobody can tell me anything anymore. So you gave that to me. And this is that moment right here.
Would you like getting on my right? I want to switch it up for everybody else. Try to stand.
I remember.
Okay. This is an honor, by the way. Thank you. I'll put a lot of work into it.
It's still shining.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for complimenting the beard as well.
Keep that forever.
And
yes.
I'm happy to announce that I have not shaved it since.
You have not shaved it since?
I haven't shaved it since.
God.
I've touched it up. I've shaved it down just a little bit, but it hasn't gone anywhere. So I just want to say thank you for that.
You're welcome. It is still shiny. It still looks good.
Listen.
And now our thing is your shirt.
And now it's the
shirt. Because this
shirt.
time I said, ooh, I like your shirt.
Well, I don't listen. Don't tell me to wear it forever because I might. But, it's a good shirt. I don't know if I love it that much, but I appreciate. I got it specifically for you today, so I really appreciate the compliment.
Keep that in your rotation.
Well, thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Halle, for joining me on this new episode. This was truly a pleasure to talk about this film with you. And congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys catch us next time on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you find this podcast, and we will talk about the next movie. We're out.